Daniel Rubino, editor-in-chief of WindowsCentral.com. It's great to see you. What do you make of what's going on with Micron?
Thanks for having me. And yeah, Micron's, there's a lot to unpack here, right? So this company did very well a couple of years ago. They had a big boom with memory, and then things didn't go so well. Then we had this trade war with China, and so there's been a downturn in the market. In fact, the reporting from this week on their quarterly results, well, it's down year over year substantially, as is income. And normally that's not good, but as we all know, it's not about necessarily what has happened, it's about what comes next. And that's what the big news here is, that Micron sees the bottom and they see the next couple of quarters as a recovery. People like that. As someone who covers tech, I can tell you the stuff that they build, which is DRAM and NAND chips, has a huge future in this world that we're building, whether it's 5G, IoT, cars, tablets, phones. They play a major role in it. Their crucial RAM that's used in PCs is just one of the most popular out there. So this is actually all good. And there's a huge market ahead. They expect in 2020 for their supply to actually be outstripped by demand. So that's going to be good too. So it's going to take a couple quarters to get back. Should also mention Huawei. They finally got their licenses back to deal and do business with Huawei again. They're a big purchaser of these chips. In fact, it accounts for around 10% of the revenue for this company. So now that's going to take, as was noted in the notes there for their quarter results, this will take a little while for them to recover with Huawei before they can build these chips, test them in the phones and everything, but they do expect a recovery there as well. They're a big partner, so it's really nice to see them. So Micron's future looks pretty good, but forecasting in this area is always difficult. It's just a very volatile industry, and so there's a lot of players. Luckily, when it comes to DRAM, which they accelerate in, there's not a lot of competition there. They do compete with Samsung and SK Hynix, but for the most part, they do have a pretty solid footing in this market, and that's always good to report.
Yeah, and as you said that they're getting rid of some of the risks, right? The trade deal, which hopefully goes through. The Huawei licenses are a go, which you said is 10% of Micron's revenue. So when you talk about the bottoming of the cycle, I mean, when we look going forward, this has to be good not only for Micron, but for some of their partnerships or even the competitors in the group, right?
Yeah, I mean, the whole industry should definitely benefit from this. What the big question I have is going to be pricing. You know, are these chips going to still be super cheap? Are they going to go up in price, or we're going to see saturation in the market? We don't really know because of the downturn in the market. Is this a correction that went on for 2017, 2018, and there was an oversupply, and now they're correcting for that? Or we're going to see actual true demand happening again due to growth overall in the industry? I'm leaning towards the latter on that, but it's going to take a few quarters, I think, before we actually know what's going on here and whether or not, you know, their forecasts actually come true. But I do think, I mean, this is one of those industries where they build core components here for all the technology around us, and they're really good at it too. So this idea that, you know, I do see them being able to recover here. This isn't some outdated technology. They did recently buy out Intel's stake in their new server memory that's used in high-end servers, used in AI and deep learning machines. So they have that area too. As we all know, deep learning AI is a massive industry that's going to the billion-dollar range now. Intel proved that recently this week too. So there's a lot of opportunity here for Micron and its partners. I mean, again, all these companies will be competing against each other. Samsung's a big maker of this memory as well. So we'll have to wait and see, though, how it turns out in 2020 and going to 2021 to see if this recovery is really substantial.
All right. Daniel Rubino, great to see you. Editor-in-chief of WindowsCentral.com. Thank you so much.